A little boy was once abandoned by his own parents, but that same boy grew up to change the world of technology forever. His name was Steve Jobs. On February 24, 1955, in California, Steve Jobs was born. Soon after his birth, he was adopted by a humble couple, Paul and Clara Jobs. From a very young age, Steve was different. While other kids were busy playing outside, he was more interested in taking apart radios and seeing how things worked inside. As he grew older, his curiosity only deepened. He wasn't a top student in school, but his way of thinking was unique. In 1972, he enrolled at Reed College, but due to financial problems, he dropped out after just one semester. Still, he continued to attend classes he found interesting. One of them was calligraphy. He didn't know it then, but that art of beautiful writing would one day revolutionize computer fonts. In 1976, at just 21, Steve teamed up with his friend Steve Wozniak and started a small company in a garage, Apple Computer. There, they built their first computer, the Apple I. The beginning was small, but their vision was huge. When Apple II hit the market, it became a massive success. By the age of 25, Steve Jobs was a millionaire. But life doesn't stay smooth forever. In 1985, he was fired from his own company. In a single board meeting, he was told that he was no longer part of Apple. It was the hardest moment of his life, being thrown out of the very company he created. Yet Steve didn't give up. Instead, he said, "Life sometimes hits you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith." With that belief, he started a new company called Next. Later, he bought Pixar Animation Studio, which went on to create the world's first computer animated movie, Toy Story. Meanwhile, Apple was slowly collapsing. In 1996, when Apple was nearing bankruptcy, it decided to buy Next, and with that, Steve Jobs returned home to the company he built. His return marked the beginning of a new era. Under his vision, Apple created iMac, iPod, iPhone, and iPad, products that completely changed the way the world used technology. People began to fall in love with tech again. Apple became one of the most valuable companies on earth. But behind all this success was a hidden battle. In 2003, Steve Jobs was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. He kept fighting because he believed that life was too precious to stop creating. On October 5, 2011, the world lost the man who made technology feel human. Steve Jobs left this world, but one of his quotes still inspires millions. "Stay hungry, stay foolish. Always stay curious, keep the hunger to learn, and never be afraid to look foolish, because that's how new worlds are created."